What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the long-awaited Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos tutorial that I promised I would do ages ago and that I'm now finally attending to. I am the Average Avocado, for those of you who do not know, and welcome to the channel and welcome to the start of this magnificent campaign. By far one of my top favorite campaigns of the majority of games that I like to play. Okay, so basically, for those of you who do not know, we are going to be starting off with the human campaign. It's not like its predecessors Warcraft 2 and 1 where you could choose between Alliance and Orcs that you want to start off with. But then again, I think the majority of the world knows Warcraft 3 pretty damn well, so I do not have to explain all of these things which I'm explaining. So yeah, we are going to jump right into chapter 1 and then let's go about sharing some things about the game you might not have known and maybe give you some tips in order to improve your game for those of you that might be playing on W3 Arena. With the mentioning of W3 Arena, it is the program I'm using to run my Warcraft at this moment. It gives it a little bit better resolution, and there are some minor changes that they made to the game as well. In order to improve it for online play. And those of you who don't know what W3 Arena is, it is an awesome program that was developed in order for Warcraft 3 players to play the game online. As popular as it was back in the day, even great players such as Grubby himself uses it, and that's kind of how I found this in the first place, was by watching one of his streams and noticing the great Orc player in action. But enough delay, let's get started.
Welcome, Prince Arthas. The men and I are honored by your presence.
Can the formalities, Uther. I'm not king yet. It's good to see you.
You too, lad. I'm pleased that King Terran has sent you to help me.
Father still hopes your patience and experience might rub off on me.
It is a father's right to dream, isn't it?
Look, here's where we stand. Our scouts have confirmed that there is an Orc encampment hidden somewhere over the next ridge.
As I suspected.
It gets worse. They're preparing to attack the nearby village of Strahnbrad. As far as we know, the village is completely defenseless.
I need to move against the Orcs base immediately. Can you handle Strahnbrad's defense on your own?
Of course, Uther. Don't worry about me.
Good. Meet me at the Orc camp once you've saved the village. Be careful, Arthas.
Alright, so
Certainly.
the very first thing I want to mention to you guys when you play this game is go straight to your options, go to gameplay, and put on always show health bars. There's a very good reason for this, which I'm sure that you can assume as to why.
Of course.
You want to have an idea of how your units are doing to begin with. I mean, when you need to use your Holy Light in order to heal, when to use one of the most important mechanics in this game, micromanagement, in order to keep your units alive and to deal maximum damage. So that is the very first thing I'm teaching in this tutorial. Second thing to keep in mind about the campaign specifically, you want to explore as much as you possibly can. Like, you notice that I'm taking down crates, and within those crates, sometimes even tents, you will get hidden items that you can use to make your hero stronger. So the campaign consists about exploring all sorts of areas and finding cool items to make your hero stronger. Now, taking a look at Warcraft 3 to begin with, it's a lot less fast, well, it's a lot more slow-paced than its predecessors. So, so because we don't have to worry about speed so much, we are more going to be worrying about, like I mentioned, micromanagement in order to keep our units, alive. So we will make mention of some things as we move about. For now, let's just get going with this incredibly easy mission to complete of the humans.
For honor.
Certainly.
One final note, I will be discussing some things about each race as I progress. Of course, since we're playing humans, we will be focusing on strengths and weaknesses of humans, and then going on to the other races.
We'll fight for Lordaeron. Get your swords.
So that is exactly what I'm talking about, why it is important to explore your map. Now, to put this, to add this into the discussion, it's not a must. It just helps you incredibly much in some cases.
You're my only hope. A group of gnolls kidnapped my little Timmy and took him to their hideout in the forest. Could you find him and bring him home?
Of course.
Okay, so for those of you who might not understand
Trapped in the cave.
how micromanagement works, I have discussed this a couple of times in both my Warcraft 2 videos and my StarCraft videos, but I will be demonstrating it again in Warcraft 3 as well, because I keep on saying it's so important in this game. So this is how it works. You're noticing that this unit is being attacked and his life is getting low. So in order to get the attention off of him, we're just going to move him away so that the attention moves over to another unit. So now you can imagine, of course, instead of losing that...
Get out of here. I want to go home.
So instead of losing that unit, we actually keep it to keep on fighting.
Oh, thanks so much. I have a reward for you.
Is there danger?
And believe it or not, that can actually turn the tides of battle, like, substantially, actually. So, of course,
Sound plan.
I mean, we could use a paladin to just heal up, but sometimes you want to reserve the mana for a different occasion. And then you just use the micromanagement in order to keep them going. So yeah, that's one little tip for the game.
I stand for the light. Of course. I'm here to help. I stand.
Okay, you
for
will
the
also
light.
notice that while I'm moving, I'm switching between my hero... Oh no, actually you cannot notice it with my face blocking the path. What I'm busy doing is, instead of constantly moving my units in a group, I'm moving them and then pressing F1 to move my hero into a different direction. The reason why I am doing this is because you will notice, especially if you play custom games or online, when you have too many units in a group and they move out, they move at the pace of the slowest unit.
Justice shall be done.
And that can sometimes hamper you to get from one direction to another.
honor.
And you kind of...
It's a trap. Take everything, man. Take all the valuables.
You kind of don't want that to happen. So instead what you do is you split off some of your units or your hero to move ahead. And then basically it improves the speed of your army walking.
Here's my leader. I, my lord. Orders.
The light is my strength.
So if you're not sure about this, go into a custom game and test it for yourself. Make masses of units and then check it out.
A sound plan. Of course. Justice shall be done. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan.
Help! Bandits are stealing our belongings!
We'll take their coin just like everyone else's.
Okay, so what we are attempting to do now is blocking these guys
Bandits
off.
stole my ledger. Without it, I will lose my entire farm.
Now watch.
Retrieve it
Oh,
from
we're
them.
so close.
It would mean so much to us.
Okay, so I didn't manage to block off this bandit, but this is a cool little maneuver that you can use even in online games or custom games. So while your enemy is retreating, you can get some extra free damage from them by trying to block them off while they try to run away. Once they get pinned, they're kind of screwed, like that bandit almost was. So this especially works well when you are trying to cut off your opponent's hero. It actually works like a charm if you can manage to do that, because then your opponent is forced to do one of two things: either use a scroll of Town Portal in order to teleport away, or number two, like hoping and praying that they can get the hero loose. Or number three, lose the hero completely and having to start from the beginning. So it makes perfect sense that you definitely don't want to end up losing your heroes.
I stand for the light.
Nearly lost that footman.
The light. Of course. I'm here to help.
Inventory is
Certain.
Aw.
The light is my strength. Of course. For honor. I'm here
So
to help.
let's talk a little bit about the humans
The light is my
themselves.
strength.
Okay, so
I'm here to help.
in Warcraft 1 and 2, you would notice
Uther,
that the majority
A
of the
sound
units
plan.
were
Thank you
basically
for helping me. Please take this item.
the same except with different
honor.
names.
A
Now,
sound
for an
plan.
example, like a footman and a grunt would be exactly the same kind of unit, just a different name. Same damage, same health, same
I'm here to
defense.
help.
However, in Warcraft
Attack has already begun. To arms, my brothers!
However, in Warcraft 3 it has changed completely. Now, to give you an example, a human will have 400, a footman will have 420 life, 2 defense, 12 to 13 damage. While a grunt, on the other hand, has got 680 life, 1 defense, and a lot more damage. So, they have actually went about making the game a lot more interesting than what its predecessors were. So, of course, each race has got their strengths and weaknesses. The human units have by far a lot more defense than what orcs do. For an example, orc units usually have very low defense, but they make up in very high hit points. Orc units usually have very high damage as well. So orcs are basically the powerhouses of this game. However, humans are the most versatile in the game. Wow, he just knocked that guy one shot with half life.
Danger?
Humans are by far the most versatile race in the game. They've got incredibly good melee units. They've got incredibly good
Certainly.
ranged units. They've got, I consider, to have the most powerful magics in the game. They just have it all. But of course, because they are so versatile, it means that they don't really specialize in anything like orcs do in brute strength, for an example.
Justice.
It does make humans a lot of fun to play though, so it is something you can use to your advantage. Now, based on the research that I've done and also based to the games that I've played, humans is considered to be the most OP race in the game next to night elves, because of the incredibly strong magics that humans have got. So don't listen to that too much. The game is pretty balanced. To every build there is of course a counter build. So just find the race that you like to play and go about learning how that race works. My favorite race, by the way, is Orcs.
All these wretches off with the rest of them. Move them out.
I stand for the light.
Okay, so one final note about how the series is going to be progressing. We are not really going to be focusing on storyline that much. Yes, we will be watching the cutscenes in-game, but that is as far as it goes. We are not going to be going for all of the extra cutscenes and the movies and so forth. You can play the game yourself or look on YouTube. There are hundreds of those videos available. So yeah, we're just going to go about completing this game on hard difficulty and have an awesome time while doing it. I have been looking forward to doing this series for quite some time now, so I'm very happy to get started.
I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So you see that I move my units like in groups like I do now into certain locations. That is because footmen, as you know, are melee, and you want them all to do as much damage as they can. Look at just how quickly the slave master is dying. So just another cool thing that you can use to your advantage.
Of course.
And mission accomplished.
Bless you, Prince Arthas.
But what about the others who were taken away?
Don't worry, son. We'll find them and bring them home safe.
Prince Arthas, Lord Uther needs you at the Orc encampment immediately.
Never a dull moment. Let's get moving.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the very first level of the Reign of Chaos campaign. We did not go about the prologue because it is just a tutorial on how this game works. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being so patient and waiting. And as I mentioned in my previous video, thank you very much for all of the new subscribers and all of those that stayed and waited for me to come back. I am going to have a blast making this tutorial like I did with the majorities of the ones previously. So I hope that you are going to be enjoying watching this as I progress. And hope that I could teach you a couple of new things for the game as well. As always, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for Chapter 2 of this awesome human campaign. Take care everyone, see you next time.